What the fuck is happening? Why am I flying? Why am I flying above my apartment building? Bree, is this normal? I'm flying above your head. Is this okay? Can you hear me at all?
Don't mind me, just hide in the body.
Oh, okay, good. You can't, wait, the body?
Don't worry, Killian probably has some good material for a lunatic. I mean, if they're still open at least.
What do you mean Killan has good material for me? Can you even hear me?
Oh, come on, it's just the trash!
Oh, I see, you're just taking out a trash. Commentators, apologies, just go on. Hey! Well, actually, you aren't wrong, per se, but... Wait, so Priya's burying me? Wait, I didn't consent to this! Wait, if that's me, then what am I? It seems I'm Ryoko Matoi from Kill la Kill, so either I'm dead, or I've been ski-hound this entire time! Well, to be fair, either way you look at it, I'm fucking dead. And how did that happen? What? Oh, I see. I fell down the stairs. Right. So I died. Well, this is odd, though, because usually most commentators who die go straight to the next dimension. Or dimensions. I don't really know. Fuck. How did that happen? Oh, Unded Meowth. You know, I'm not in heaven or hell yet, so who knows? Maybe this video might be purgatory. Okay, I guess let's go. So today we're hitting Unded Meowth. He's a commentator but also not a commentator at the same time, with a few videos to his name, notably a horrendous video on manga comment that I kinda wish I hit while I was still alive. But recently, he hit commentator Kainu, formerly known as the Dark Commentator, formerly known as Midnight Vampire, formerly known as Fluffle Yu-Gi-Oh!, formerly known as Obito Uchiha from the Naruto franchise. Am I wrong? Well, which video from the Blackest Commentator did he choose? The one that's aged like fucking wine. No, the other one. There we go. So let's go back to literally a few weeks before Butch Hartman destroyed literally his entire career, and when everyone thought he was a pretty cool dude. And to the time where one brave YouTuber stood up and got in his path and insisted Butch Hartman was not all that he chalked up himself to be. LS Mark made a video about why Butch Hartman wasn't all that good of a guy to him. This video was covered by Kainu and a lighter alter ego that may or may not be in need for a new name since, you know, Kainu isn't the Dark Commentator anymore. Though to be fair, I'd say Kainu is the Blackest Commentator in the CC, not gonna lie. I mean, sorry Aaron, but still. Kainu covered this video and did an okay job on it, but then Unded Meowth straight out of the fucking grave, probably with the help of Edo Tensei Jutsu from Naruto. Yeah, thanks Kabuto, I wanted this. Decided he was done with the necrophilia and decided to fuck Kainu up. This led to a low-budget mockbuster final shot too, cause we totally needed that. Look, all I wanted was the first shot, and I can't even get that! Damn you fluffle, dark, bald-headed bastard, you. Well, anyways, that's all you need to know before we dive in. Any questions? Good, I have no friends still. Alright, let's go.
Kai? Kai?
This just makes me laugh. Like, why does the avatar switch while it's still off screen?
At this point, I don't know whether or not you understand what exactly is happening in the scene, because the reason Light's avatar changes halfway through the screen is because as he was moving on screen, he was talking, and so the picture changed to match that line. I don't see how you'd fail to know this. Like, this isn't rocket science. 10th grade math, man. Now, I did consider a hypothetical, which was that the fact that it changes off screen looks pretty jarring, but I mean, that doesn't seem to be where you're going. You just say it's an issue, and then you leave it to be there. You do go on about how you don't like how this changing of avatars from PNG to non-PNG is jarring in a minute.
This is another thing I just hate about slideshow commentary in general. Using avatars that don't have transparent backgrounds, or alternating between the two, because it just looks messy and there's no continuity between it.
But this isn't that complaint. This is something completely different. So I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck are you going on about, dude? Seriously, this is the worst first impression I think I've ever gotten out of any video. Good job.
I got an idea.
Oh no.
So you woke me up, making me think that you were watching Sword Art Online, and in fact you tricked me? Kindly go fuck yourself. You know you don't mess with my Sword Art Online.
Oh, you're such a fucking weeaboo. Oh.
Okay, look, nothing against the weeb thing, it's just the way you did this joke. It doesn't even come off as a joke, you just sound like a guy who's discovered their child's anime addiction and instead of pitying them, you find it humorous. So, basically my dad. I'm only considering it a joke because what other reason would you have for pointing out him being an anime fan? So basically, if I didn't know any better, I'd just assume you're just calling him out for being an anime fan, and at worst discrediting him for such, which I know for a fact you're not, Meowth. Look, you wouldn't have made this terrible fucking pun in my comments if you were. Like, seriously, this just feels half-assed.
One, frick you.
I've heard you call people faggots. Why the fuck are you saying frick instead of fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, are you freaking kidding me?
Yes, because how dare he not use a curse word, because other times he's used words that are worse, because this matters apparently. So, you stopped this video just to nitpick about how he had used the word frick since he's said much worse before. Do I even have to tell you why at the end of the day, this is just a nitpick that doesn't even fucking matter?
It's not even the level of a nitpick. It's so small of an issue that it's not even a problem with the video.
Also, I'm just gonna tell you that this light guy, the guy who said frick, yeah, that's a completely separate character who, get this, doesn't curse. Info you probably wouldn't have gotten without watching his kill and plot, but I just thought you needed to know this. Because why not?
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce today's target, LS Mark, a ranter who makes videos on mainly other YouTubers and gives them critique. He made a video on Butch Herman and why he dislikes him.
I will stab anyone who disrespects Senpai Butch.
This is so fucking hard to watch. This is killing me. This is physically killing me. Not just because of all the anime weeaboo, oh whoa, what's this type shit, but mainly for the fact that you're already stating that this is biased as shit, and you're only doing this to defend Butch Hartman regardless of what LS Mark's statements actually even are.
Wow, I actually hate this point because it works off of some brilliant mad scientist logic right here. Because Light says that he will protect Butch Senpai at all costs. This is a joke. I mean, wasn't the line delivery any indication? I prefer you don't answer that with some excuse about having problems with getting jokes because I don't know autism. That'd be pretty lame. And I get that you're lame, but, like, not trash lame, like Sasuke lame. Except you're not actually all that cool or overly talented. You can't spawn a giant fucking colossus just using your eyes. Though, I mean, you could put me to sleep like him if that's anything worth. Not to mention the tryhard persona right here. Oh shit, so your video is like a recreation of Sasuke's fight with Naruto at the Valley of the End, because you're friends with Kainu. Wait, who's Orochimaru? Oh, it must be Doodle! Oh, so then I bet Manga Common is Itachi, because otherwise I see no reason for you to hate him as much as you do. Oh, wait, I was making a video. Right, back to the senpai thing. Again, you're taking this joke seriously. The tone of his voice, for an example, is all, I don't know, harem girlish, and I'd be damned if Kainu was ever spoken like that. And sure, maybe he actually does want to defend Butch because he's a fanboy or whatever, I don't know. But does this, of all things, really show that he's willing to, as you say, defend him at all costs, even if what LS Mark says is right? Even then, what you say isn't true. I mean, he doesn't even hit everything he says in the video. Right after you leave, he says this.
Anyway, I'll be skipping the first bit of the video considering his points are valid, and the worst parts of the video are deeper in.
Which already has your assumption going down the fucking drain. Like, did you even watch the full video before you said that? Because all I can say was that this was a bold-ass assumption to make, and as expected, you stepped on a Lego and fucked it up. Good going! That was my favorite set. And on top of all this garbage, you even miss how Kainu says,
Yeah, you have fun with that.
so your dumbass happened to miss how Kainu acts all uncomfortable about it, showing that he really didn't mean it. I swear, the garbage keeps on piling up. And well, I'm not the one to clean the litter box. You do it yourself, baka. Also, fuck you, Kainu. I wanted to use this as a skip screen. That douchebag fucking asshole taking all my shit.
So let's not beat around the bush. Butch, you're not hot shit. You only created 2 good shows, both of which got terrible after a few seasons when the original writers left, so I don't know how involved you were with making them any good. But you also made 3 terrible Fairly Odd Parents live-action movies, and worst of all, you ruined the fucking Magic Roundabout. He seems to think he's the second coming of Christ. He acts like he hasn't made a bad show in his life.
And your proof of this is him saying in this channel trailer that he's affected pop culture for 30 years.
Hey there, I'm Butch Hartman, the creator of...
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't seem like he's trying to cover up any terrible, terrible projects he's worked on before. I took that clip from his Oaxis Kickstarter trailer too, so don't even tell me that this was made before a time where he even went on to do terrible shit, because in his Oaxis video he doesn't talk about any terrible shows he's made before. You can compare what I just played and what Ellis Mark just played side by side, and it's very clear what the point is. Butch Hartman skates around the fact that he made Dougal.
Things are about to get hairy.
So, before I argue you on what Kainu said, I just want to argue you and Mark on how you're pointing out how Butch hasn't brought up his garbage shows in his channel trailer or his fundraiser video. Oh, okay, he doesn't bring up his terribly received projects. I got a good idea on why that is. Why in his right mind would he go off in his channel trailer wasting time showing his not so well received shows? If he wants to get out of the way that he's the Butch Hartman people know from their childhood, why show shows like the things you listed? Honestly, it just bogged down the time of the video. And then in the case of the fundraiser, which is for a Christian video service, why would he go out his way to say, oh yeah, I've done some terrible things too, in order to try and establish that he's someone who can handle creating and running a service like this? Come on guys, we learned about how evidence worked in 10th grade. This shouldn't be hard. Even then, I have a few problems with you here, Meowth. Like, for one, you just had to go out of your way and play this video clip for whatever reason. Like, seriously, it serves no purpose other than to pad out the video, because look, Marky already did it. I mean, if Kainu's point was that he only came off like this in one video, then you'd be talking, but as far as I see, you're just throwing this in here to be like, see, Senpai Mark, I could do the playing the trailer thing too. You could have made your same point without it. On top of that, nice going, you're cutting him out of context because soon after this point, Kainu says,
Like, yeah, Butch has made some bad shows, but he has still had a big impact on pop culture. Like you even said, Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom were both very popular.
This really amounts to you just saying the pole point and making a large-ass assumption. Again. Oh, and before we go, Marky boy, I was looking for some examples of not so good works by Butch to use as examples against you, and oh boy, I ended up coming across something pretty interesting when I was looking up Dougal and what that failure was all about. Turns out that while Butch did work on the film, his script was actually completely rewritten, and only 3% of his script remained. I was unsure about this, so I ended up looking up the source, which was one of his podcasts.
So the movie comes out, and they rewrote most of my stuff. They re-recorded it.
Wow.
Most of my stuff was re-recorded. And so the movie that you see, I had maybe 3% to do with. So
that little of it?
that
Wow.
little. So when people see Dougal and they want to get mad at me,
Yeah.
don't get mad at me. 'Cause I mean, I tried to save that movie and I tried to make it better. I'm not making excuses. If it was me, I would tell you.
So there goes one piece of your puzzle about how Butch is acting like he hasn't created bad stuff when both his original stuff got reworked and then ruined, and even then at the start of the video, he admits that it's still kind of his fault.
By the way, I want to first of all apologize for Dougal.
So he really isn't passing the blame per se. I mean, unless he's lying, but then again, do you have any proof that's true, Marky? I mean, at least for now, at least. So acting like he acts like he hasn't made anything bad is just downright wrong, though to be fair, this is just one example. But on top of that, any other bad things he's made? I mean, I know for a fact that the reception of Grow Up, Timmy Turner, and the rest of those movies hasn't been all that swell, so there's that, but as far as I've seen, all of his shows are decently popular or have mixed to positive reception. I mean, I can't admit that he comes off as if he has an ego, but as far as I see, you're making a large-ass claim. And yes, before you ask, Mark's video came out in March 2018. The podcast I referred to came out in November 2017.
Like, yeah, Butch has made some bad shows, but he has still had a big impact on pop culture. Like you even said, Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom were both very popular.
The point of that clip? This ain't it, Chief.
Which clip? No, legit. You could be talking about you and Marky's voice clip, but that wouldn't really make any sense in the context of what Kainu was talking about, since you say this ain't it, Chief, implying something is wrong. Well, looking into it, I guess you're telling him that this was already pointed out via the channel trailer by... What the fuck? So, if that's the case, then why are you saying this? Because Kainu is building up his argument. You can't just walk in and say, oh, he already said that. Otherwise, what point are you trying to make here? Like, seriously, I can't get over this for the life of me. It's times like this that makes me really wonder what the US education system is doing. Then again, you were dead after all, so I can understand. And relate.
And even fucking then, there are people who are influential and have made mistakes. For example, Steven Spielberg. He's made many good movies like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future.
I'm gonna need you to repeat yourself.
Steven Spielberg. He's made many good movies like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future. He's made many good movies like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future. Jurassic Park and Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
I honestly feel bad for Robert Zemeckis because, like, Everyone always thinks that Back to the Future was Steven Spielberg's movie. It was not. He is what is known as the producer. I know this is a really long nitpick, but come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
You know, that actually doesn't negate his point. Yeah, Steven Spielberg didn't work on Back to the Future as a director, as people apparently assume, instead working under a producer role. Just, one problem. You do know what a producer does, right? Because doing, like, the smallest ounce of research, so probably as much as you're probably not a college student level could do, the same amount of damage as sweeping the rug from right under your feet, because, by all means, the fact that Steven Spielberg likely went ahead and shaped the idea for the movie, helped choose the cast and hire the director, and all the other people who worked on the script and all that jazz, apparently he didn't sit in a seat and tell people when to stop and go, so this isn't his movie! Oh boy, Meowth, your inner Pokemon is showing. And I understand that you could argue that Kai's point is that he assumed that Steven Spielberg was the director of Back to the Future since he listed Jurassic Park, which is a movie he himself directed. Okay, such a bold claim for a man with no proof. Good job, you're brainless. I mean, a zombie man. I'm not an asshole like that. At the very end of the day, this is a nitpick spawned from a very loose assumption.
But he's also made movies like 1941. It was a shit movie, but he was still influential despite that mistake.
Yes, but we're not talking about whether or not Steven Spielberg acts like he's made bad movies in the past. We are talking about how Butch Hartman acts like he hasn't made bad projects in the past.
Alright, it's official, you're on drugs. There is no other explanation for this. You have to be on some serious LSD. And hey, I ain't paying the fine for having a loser on my TED Talks, that's all you. He's doing this thing called a comparison, asking Ellis Mark why is Butch not allowed to be influential because he's made mistakes in the past when other creators like filmmaker Steven Spielberg, for an example, has made mistakes too. I know, sounds crazy and mystic, like black magic, but don't worry, just a little bit of schooling can make this a normal thing. I got you covered, dude. Now in the long run, I can get that kind who may or may not be just missing the point of Mark's argument. I'm a little dizzy, I can't tell. But if this was your attempt to say it, boy, wording isn't that hard. The way you say it makes it come off as if you're convinced that it can't compare Steven Spielberg to Butch because we aren't talking about Spielberg, ignoring the entire concept of a comparison. Good job, you've literally surprised me again with these arguments. Like, how do you do this?
Before we move on, I just want to say, if you stuck to what Ellis Mark's point actually was, you would be able to debunk him so fucking fast because Butch Hartman does in fact acknowledge that he's made some really shit shows.
Also, like, I just want you to know that the example you used, yeah, sorry buddy, came out an entire week after Kai's video came out. I mean, yeah, I guess there was that podcast he did before, but come on dude, this isn't even half-assing, this is quarter-assing.
Well, frick, I guess no one can criticize anyone ever!
Mark, everyone makes mistakes. But those mistakes don't mean that someone's criticism are now invalid. Look at me, for example. I made a video titled The Final Shot. It was a mess filled with excuses, bad points, and loads of salt. Now, is the fact that I fucked up on making a commentary before means that my video on, for example, Nihilistic Snake, which, psst, by the way, is one of my best received videos, is now null and void because I was covering a commentary, and because I fucked up covering a commentary in the past, I can't criticize anyone who makes a bad commentary.
This is a pretty good point, actually. If it weren't for the fact that it's so fucking long.
Okay, that's it, huh? Okay, sorry your freaking attention span can't handle a 28-second point. Like, wow, I actually hate this point. For one, what makes the length of this point an issue? Is it just padding for length? Does he repeat himself? Or can you not just handle it? And why is that the case? If all you can say is, this point is bad because it's too long, kindly F-word off with that BS. Honestly, this point just feels like you said this because you didn't know how to counter it and couldn't actually admit that little Kai was correct. Just a conspiracy theory, though.
Kindly stop putting words in his mouth.
Well, I guess that.
No.
So this is also just a minor thing that only bothers me, but how many videos do you have to make about this show 10 years later? Let me guess, they're gonna look the exact same except they'll be really buff? No, this one's different, it's 10 years younger this time. It's still the same fucking thing.
Gee, Mark, it's almost like Butch mainly does art on his channel, and this could be some sort of series. Seriously, do you know how series work? It's one type of thing over and over and over again. Now, if you don't like it, that's fine. That's not a problem.
Are you sure it's not a problem? You seem quite upset.
Can you not just randomly interject with your garbage pot shots? Because this doesn't even have any substance because he really isn't upset. Seriously, shut it.
But you're basically complaining about a guy doing a series which is fucking stupid.
Actually, LS Mark is complaining about how the series itself is quite boring and repetitive.
How do you operate? Okay, let me put this in the words that you'll understand. Mark never said that the videos were boring, like, at all. Seriously, you can't even make the freaking assumption that he thinks the series is boring because this isn't even what the line implies. He was annoyed that there was just so many of them with what he believed to be so little difference. This isn't just a straw man, this is just a fucking straw house. Like, gosh dang, how do you fuck up somebody's wording this badly? I mean, you aren't a German translator. Ich meine, ich bin auch nicht, aber...
Alright, Marky boy, time for final thoughts, because I don't feel like covering your final thoughts.
Alright, Kanu, I'm gonna skip your final thoughts because I don't give a rat's ass.
Well, Meowth, I'm going to skip your final thoughts because I'm a lazy person. Wait, there isn't a final thoughts section? So are you telling me I can't change this video? Damn.
No wonder your points were stupid, off topic.
Okay, we are not going there right now. Well, whatever. So you may be asking what my final thoughts on this video are, and well, I'm not giving them. Not yet, at least. Why? Because it turns out whoever dropped this video on me had another video. Yep, and guess what? It's actually the worst video of 2018, and as such, it makes me want to die. Die too, I mean. I always wanted a die sequel, so this will be fun! Anyways, if you're wondering what this video is about, Jonah Smith made a commentary on Just a Robot, who did a collaboration video with the names Junkie. Oh fuck, I just realized I still owe him that collaboration video. Oh god, he's gonna triple kill me! Both of these together did a video on why they thought the Five Nights at Freddy's series wasn't all that good. Five Nights at Freddy's being a horror game series where you're a person trying to fight off animatronic monsters akin to those at Chuck E. Cheese, though the location, story, and characters you are changes every game or so. Keep that in mind whenever somebody says it's always the same formula. Anyways, that's all you really need to know, so let's fucking quadruple die, shall we?
Finally, fuck this shit. Wait, what the fuck is outside the door? Jesus fuck.
Not gonna lie, I'd be horrified too if I saw Jonah's outdated persona outside my door. He probably still wants to try and convert me into furryism. You already turned me into a deranged Neko lover. What more do you fucking want from me?
Hello, my stillborn cat litter. My name's Unded Meowth, and today we are going to be looking at a video by Jonah Smith. About a week ago, he made a commentary on Jar and Junkie's commentary of FNAF. Disregarding the fact that the original video is more than a month old, Jonah Smith's video is a week old, so I am covering a dead topic,
Yeah, I get that we just got hit with daylight savings time and all, but it's only 1 hour less. It doesn't mean that the laws of time have been severely fucked in the ass. But let me get this straight. Jonah's video, by your standards, is hitting a dead topic because the video he was covering was over a month old. No, that's not how dead topics work, like at all. You're basing this off of time in a manner that doesn't actually work. Can a video that's a month old become a dead topic? Yeah, why not? Let's say if it's a video surrounding drama and within a month everyone involved has decided to fix this drama, and so by the time a month passes, the purpose of doing a video on or about it would be pointless. And let's say it wasn't. Usually a video should only be considered a dead topic by the time it's over a year, and honestly, I'm not saying a video is, I'm just saying that that's the time you should consider a thing being not worth it. I mean, at this point, what would be the point of hitting my Hero Star video? Unless I constantly made the same mistakes I made all the way back then it wouldn't really make much sense to hit a video I still stand by. On top of that, just a month? See, the reason I brought up all those reasons for what could make a video a quote-unquote dead topic is because this ain't it, Chief. It isn't like people had spent weeks debating Jar and Junkie over the video, and at this point it didn't matter anymore. It's too rash to call a video a dead topic for being a month old, no less a freaking week. All I can say here is just learn how to tell ducking time. Something about this disclaimer bugs me. Like, let me fix this up, and there we go.
Just a Robot and the name's Junkie made a video explaining why they don't like the FNAF series.
I'm gonna need you guys to remember this.
It wasn't that good. That's literally all the context you need here.
Well, since you don't give two shits about giving any context whatsoever other than the video exists and the video is bad, I can't wait to see what eloquent points you bring out of your fucking ass in order to substantiate your claims on such a subjective fucking video.
You can't be serious. Jonah literally said that was all the context was. Just a Robot and Junkie made a video together explaining their distaste for the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Basically, there wasn't anything else that was needed to be added. What? Is there more to this little video that we don't know of? Because if you actually fucking finished the video, you'd know that that isn't really true. And let me turn this trap card onto you then, Meowth. What else could have been added here? What important information that could have helped Jonah's video did he leave out? To be fair, there are a few things I think Jonah could have brought up, like let's say what exactly the 5 Minutes of Freddy series is, but not gonna lie, that was about it, and on top of that, again, you don't say this. You can't really expect people to buy this argument if your dumbass just says, you half-assed the context, when in turn, the half-alive, so by default half-assed Pokemon you are couldn't come out with anything themselves. I'm just saying, your mother bye.
3, 2...
Yeah, no. We're not playing your fucking weeb intro because you got copyright claimed by the fucking aviators. And I'm not gonna make your stupid mistake of having a minute of someone else's fucking song in my video. That is a one-way ticket to get copyright claimed, you goddamn moron.
Thanks for the Christmas gift, Meowth. It's just what I wanted. A lot of fucking bullshit. First off, weeb intro? Joke? I mean, I came up with the idea that you just call everything Leap for whatever reason, but I've watched 3 of your videos, and I've never seen that before, so beats me. Is it because of that soul anime character? Is this whole intro now infected with fucking weeb because Jonah showed an anime character? Oh, crap! The weeb disease is spreading! Guys, run! Is this a big deal at the end of the day? No, I just wanted to point out this because it sounds real gay. Also, by the way, is this a pot shot or a point? I don't know. I mean, you're acting like he's a fucking moron because he used a copyright song in his intro. I mean, it's not like Jonah cares. I mean, I hear you do. But I mean, you're making a big deal out of nothing. I'm just saying. And even if you wanted to show it, like, all you need to do is just shave off 3 seconds of the video. You do realize that with copyright content, the best way to get around it is only showing 30 seconds of it. It's actually true. Now stop bitching.
And I'm Junkie. I'm not a robot. I'm an animal.
For the love of Christ, stop using copyright songs! You're making this so fucking difficult on me.
Holy shit, these visuals! Jeez Louise, you wanna give somebody a seizure? No, seriously, how did this happen? And what voice in your head said it would be a good meme to keep this in your video? Why, Meowth? Why? Also, again, 30 seconds, dude. Fucking deal with it.
AKA Matt Pat's favorite game series to do theories on. The first game came out on August 8th of 2014, and in just a few short months, it quickly grew up to the point where it was even rivaling Minecraft in terms of popularity.
Okay, how much of Jar's video are you just going to leave in with no commentary? You can skip this shit if you're not going to talk about it.
Yes, because how dare Jonah leave in 14 seconds of actually important info. What the fuck? So looking at this, I'm unsure if you're talking about Jonah leaving in large sums about Jar's video at intervals throughout the video or this part specifically. So would you look at that? A flow of you just throwing your little cat litter in random places and expecting it not to stink up my house. Why do I say this? Well, because any sane person would assume that you're trying to convince them that this point has been going on for too long when it's literally just been 15 godforsaken seconds. All of that being important, by the way. And yes, I said sane person. I'm just saying, you expect anyone in the CC to actually be sane? Ha! You're funny. Now, leaving this assumption that Kabuto's Edo Tensei plot actually worked for once and gave you a brain when it brought you back to life, oh boy. 15 seconds. 15 seconds is all it takes for you to go like, too much information was left in.
But there is one key difference between Minecraft and 5 Nights at Freddy's.
And what difference would that be, Jar?
Minecraft was, and still is, actually a fun game.
Yeah, see, there's more unedited footage of Jar's video. This is fucking pathetic. You know, the great thing about editing is you can be much more efficient with your time by cutting out all of the bullshit you don't care about.
See, you could have saved your fucking atrocious point for this interjection, but even then, counting the times of the previous and this interjection, it only amounts to 23 seconds. Is this an attention span thing? Whatever, I'm not here to insult you. I gotta do the commentating and add jokes too. Now, to be fair, I can probably get away with no jokes. Your bullshit logic is making some people laugh themselves. I mean, look, you're implying that nothing that is being said in this overall 55-second interjection is relevant, and if you actually waited for Jonah to pop in again and listen to his point, you'd realize that no, that actually isn't the case. It's a little too bad that you're already just too dead to understand that. Seriously, you're starting to get on my nerves. I don't want another Fox of the GP.
Yeah, compared to other indie games such as Bendy and the Ink Machine, Cuphead, Shovel Knight, Undertale, and so on, Five Nights at Freddy's is less of a game and more like a button-pushing simulator with low-quality, cheap jump scares thrown in the mix.
Now, there's actually a lot to unpack here.
I don't know, the videos seem pretty straightforward to me, but if you say there's a lot to unpack here, then, hit us with your best shot.
Not gonna lie, I do not see the purpose of this interjection simply because while it feels like a pot shot taking aim at how you think there was only so little to cover here, this ain't it, Chief. I mean, if Jonah actually only covered one thing, but was all like, uh-oh, look at all this garbage I gotta cover, then yeah, I got you. But like, little problem here, considering in the original video, this whole section takes up 3 minutes with Jonah covering a variety of issues, it makes sense that he'd start off bringing this up. Your little pot shot only serves to be a pot shot. And to that I respond with, who the fuck cares? You talk about Jonah dragging out the video, you're dragging your ass across the floor like a gosh dang dog trying to impress Daddy Kainu. Which is weird, you're a cat, what the fuck? We cats should be more honorable.
First off, I'm credit to Luxter for pointing this out to me in the script, but yeah, sure, fine, this is fair. Let's compare a horror game to a platformer RPG and a run-and-gun shooter.
Yeah, let's do that, because it's a completely fair comparison. We are talking about the game mechanics, and not the genre. So the fact that you bring it up as a horror game means absolutely nothing.
Altogether, guys, that's the gosh darn point. See, Meowth, the game mechanics for a horror game will likely differ from other genres like Jonah had mentioned, like how a game like Cuphead, being a run-and-gun shooter, would focus more on the platforming, while a game like FNAF would focus on the horror aspects like atmosphere and such. Seriously, did you not think about this before releasing this video? Like, nigga, what?
It's almost like the point they're making is FNAF is overrated because all it is a
button-pushing simulator,
thus making it not deserving of the same credibility and respect as games like Shovel Knight and Bendy and the Ink Machine, which is a horror game as well. So your point about comparing these games to horror games is completely retarded.
But you do realize out of the comparisons Jonah made, he didn't in fact even bring up Bendy and the Ink Machine, probably meaning he hecking knew that this comparison was okay, since it was between two horror games, and as such, he only complained about the comparisons between Cuphead and Undertale. I'll admit, that's a nice strawman you built there, but you built it on my property, so you better take it down now.
Also, games have completely different mechanics, not to mention atmospheres, to the point this comparison is literally just apples to oranges.
I have absolutely no idea what the fuck you just said, because you refuse to enunciate, you talk faster than you can fucking think, and honestly, your audio quality is absolute dog shit. The only words I understood from any of that were atmosphere, game mechanics, and apples to oranges. Which, going off of what I can understand, I assume you are saying, why aren't they talking about the atmosphere and just dissing the game mechanics? To which I'll reply, we are not talking about the atmosphere right now, we are talking about the game mechanics. That's the whole point of this fucking section.
See, problem is though, is that Jonah's argument that the comparisons between the FNAF games and games like indie games that Jar had listed were unfair comparisons because not only were the game mechanics different, but was so the atmosphere, which is pretty damn true in the case of Cuphead, which is a run-and-gunner in the style of a mid-20th century animation, so you're comparing that to FNAF, which, like, isn't even a comparison. It's like if I compared Mills Kohai to Scott the Woz. Like, is there any correlation between the two besides the fact that they're both funny? Not really, one's a commentator and the other's a video game reviewer.
Also, slight nitpick, but poor wording is poor. Horror games aren't exactly meant to be fun, more so scare the audience.
Horror games aren't meant to be fun. Jonah Smith, 2K18. That is the most retarded shit ever. The only reason why you play horror games is to have fun. The only reason why you play video games or watch movies is to have fun. You don't do it to be bored out of your mind, okay? If it doesn't deliver on the scares and it's just
button-pushing simulator with low-quality, cheap jump scares thrown in the mix.
So even in the aspect of it's supposed to scare you, it fails. Your point is completely irrelevant.
Oh, that's a good argument against that fucking brick wall you're talking to, because considering that was a Jonah's point, I don't even know what you're talking about. Jonah didn't say horror games weren't about not having fun, period, just more so they needed to scare the audience. Hence the phrase that they more so needed to scare the audience. So already nice job, you aren't paying any goddamn attention, but alongside this lack of ears, you also managed to come up with a really dumb argument. Yes, obviously video games are supposed to be about fun. Here's your cookie in a front of the line pass. Except you aren't getting neither of those because I'm not rewarding a bad boy with fattening foods and a superiority complex. Remember when Jonah said horror games are meant to more so scare the audience? Yeah, when it sounded like he said horror games weren't meant to be fun, even taking him out of context like your annoying ass did, this wouldn't have automatically meant he meant boring. Horror games are supposed to creep you out, horrify you, and make you uncomfortable, with the fun usually coming in between moments of these. If a horror game is only fun, then it isn't a horror game. Seriously, considering you know some horror games, I wonder if you've actually played them. Also, irrelevant? I don't know. Irrelevant means that it has nothing to do with this. Like, it adds nothing, it means nothing, it has no worth. So, look, Jonah's point here is trying to add on to the fact that you can't really compare these game series together. So you're kind of misunderstanding here. Like, it's not irrelevant.
And before you tell me that horror is subjective and what doesn't scare one person might scare another, let me just say, this video is, once again,
The video explain why they don't like the FNAF series.
emphasis on they, because this is once again a subjective video. And even trying to argue these points is meaningless and moot.
Boy, if you don't...
You show no footage to actually back up your points.
Which fucking point?
So, Five Nights at Freddy's apparently is just low quality jump scares. Yeah, here's the funny thing about this. Throughout this video, there was quite literally no footage shown whatsoever.
That's because it's going off the basis that almost everyone on YouTube.com knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is and what Five Nights at Freddy's looks like. I'm so sorry they didn't provide key evidence for substantiating the subjective opinion that Five Nights at Freddy's is nothing but cheap jump scares, which in fact it fucking is.
Okay, I feel like there's a lot to this point that's problematic, but if anything, I think the biggest issues with this point is that A, you imply that alongside how people will automatically be familiar with the topic. Because this claim is subjective, Jonah shouldn't be asking for evidence. I mean, I don't believe that was your intentional idea, but you really make it sound like you're pushing in that direction. And I mean, you're pushing against a pretty hollow wall. That's a dumb argument, nonetheless, because if something is subjective, it's a good idea to have example on hand. I don't see why not unless the situation doesn't call for it. Which, I mean, I don't know. Does it not, Meowth? I don't see you coming up with a good excuse. Also, B, that the same subjective claim is in turn true. That's not making it a personal view, but an objective fact. Like, wow, and you did this all within 14 seconds? Like, oof.
Now, I may hear somebody give someone the option that said footage might be incredibly difficult to find, and to that I say bullshit, as there's multiple videos on YouTube alone that are quite literally compilations of jump scares.
Wow, so there is evidence on YouTube that people could look up on their own. And you just discredited your own point. And this is completely stupid.
That's stupid.
Wow, I don't think I've seen anyone be this misinformed with how evidence and information works in any YouTube video. I guess I gotta be the teacher at school, yeah, because, yo, cat dude, no. Just because the evidence exists and the viewer can do all the legwork themselves, doesn't mean that Jonah's earlier point about Jar and Jucky not showing evidence has been countered by his own point. In fact, he actually just strengthened his argument that it came off as stupid for them not to have their evidence on hand, because that just means they really have no excuse for doing so. On top of that, making the viewers do all the legwork themselves. Like, seriously, come on.
Heck, even videos showing the jump scares of every single animatronic in the franchise.
You should stop now because the hole you're digging has gone past 6 feet.
Yo, nice mirror you're talking into.
And this point sucks dick, you can't get it to climax. Speaking of climax, yeah, no, I still got enough stamina to keep going. Oh, what am I doing with my life?
Making shit jokes that have no preface and absolutely no context to anything. That's what you're doing with your life right now. Actually, no, a more accurate description is you are wasting my time. That's what you are doing with your life.
Okay, what? Shit jokes that have no preface? You fucking what, mate? It's pretty clear that the joke is a double entendre about how he has the stamina to do more arguing after he's already made a large interjection, which because he's already said their joke sucks dick, and that he has the stamina to continue, he's playing up a large sex joke. It has nothing to do with the points that he's arguing, but works off of the fact that he's been arguing a lot. Seriously, this is beyond your levels of smart. I mean, unless you're just throwing around buzzwords you just happen to hear, because by God, you really didn't think this through.
It's the same tired, boring storyline each and every fucking game. You can say there's world building. I think it's just Scott trying to cover up plot holes, personally.
Wow, what a nice little argument there. Do you mind if I test the durability of an... I thought so. Meowth, world building is still world building no matter the purpose of the world building. And even if, like, you say it was done for the sake of covering up plot holes, is that an issue? Does that inherently make the world building not good? I mean, yeah, it does make earlier plot parts kind of not that good, but that doesn't make the world building bad. Like, come on. Now, maybe you're saying that the world building is bad, and if you are, wow, wording isn't that hard to grasp. You make it seem like you're trying to convince me that world building done over plot holes is a bad thing. And I mean, I guess you could be saying that just having the plot holes be in there in general is bad, but I digress. Every way you place this piece in the puzzle, it doesn't fit together, so good going. Again.
The thing is, you compare this to Pokemon, and this has absolutely no commonalities with Pokemon. At least with Pokemon,
Yo, so am I gonna have to be the one to tell them that the comparison is because Josh said after 5 games Scott should have stopped, which is weird in a video game world where games like Pokemon can get hundreds of sequels, or...
No, with FNAF, it's literally the same shit every single time.
Okay, post-Lunatic here, and I was originally going to ignore this point. I felt like it'd be worth tackling, though, because honestly, this was so wrong and actually pains me, a non-FNAF fan, by the way. So, where should I begin? FNAF 1 involves you looking out for the animatronics on camera. There were 2 doors, and you tried keeping the power on to keep them away from you by keeping the doors shut. Lose the power, and they're allowed in, and they kill you, I guess. FNAF 2 swapped this up a bit by having a door that could not close and 2 vents. You'd have the ability to wear a mask that could keep the animatronics away, though of course not all of them, like Balloon Buddy for an example, so if you've played FNAF 1, you'd have to change up your strategy. FNAF 3 still has you checking systems, but you're fighting just one animatronic, with some of the previous ones being nothing but hallucinations that will appear if the ventilation system turns off. Of course, you have to try and keep the ventilation system on the whole game, though you also have to look out for other things. FNAF 4 takes place in a child's fucking bedroom and involves you checking different areas of the room to make sure an animatronic isn't there. Like, seriously, even if you don't believe these are much of a difference, I can safely assume that it's as much as a difference between each Pokemon game. I mean, yeah, Pokemon did add things like Z-moves, Mega Evolution, and berries, but it can't be any difference in changing up the strategy the player should use in a survival horror game like FNAF, so honestly, this whole point just kind of reveals that you probably never played the game series before.
With Pizzeria Simulator and Fredbear and Friends.
Hold it! No! Bad humor. 1 8-20 courtroom theme for commentary. Bad boy. Bad. Okay, now. You ready for a bad time? Now, let this be Judgment Hour. This is the most deranged, lazy, absolutely asinine, any other synonym for downright idiotic point in the video. Because hey, fun fact of those familiar with the FNAF series, this is wrong. Fredbear and Friends is no FNAF game. Well, no, not exactly. Fredbear and Friends is a fan-made Five Nights at Freddy's game.
What? Jar and Junkie didn't know that a shitty FNAF fan-made game was a shitty FNAF fan-made game? It's almost like they aren't fans of the fucking series. Wow.
Okay, so from what I'm getting from this point, you're trying to tell me that Junkie and Jar are allowed to mess up this information because they're not FNAF fans. What? Not only does not doing your research make you look ingenuine, if you're doing what Jar and Junkie are doing and trying to make an argument about how these games are not as good as what everyone else are saying they are, and you manage to mess up details on those games, you aren't going to be taken seriously. Look, slow down a bit. I don't think you know what garbage you're spewing from your mouth. You're talking that fast.
And why is that? Well, it's because this demonstrates my central issue of this entire video. There was no effort, nor any research put into this video at all.
Because it's a subjective fucking video. They already know what they don't like about the game. And you getting this worked up over one stupid piece of misinformation in their video is laughably pathetic.
The fact that you keep saying, oh, you're arguing subjectivity, so everything in this video is pointless, makes me want to stop breathing. Wait, am I even breathing at all? I guess not. That's weird. Oh, where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, so your argument is saying that because the video is apparently based on subjectivity, that this gives them every reason not to put in effort? The fuck is this interjection? Because not gonna lie, this argument is probably something an actual fucking zombie would say. Like, I get that the video is them explaining their reasoning for not liking the series, but that doesn't mean the aspects of how you present yourself can be anything goes. Like what if I say I don't like the Dark Tournament in Yu Hakusho, and my reasoning for that is because Dark Tournament is no story, just action. And yes, I am taking it as somebody, you know, you are a fucking totally not nostalgia critic. That's not true, like, at all. I won't go into detail because it doesn't matter, but look, subjectivity isn't a buzzword that allows you to be a fucking lazy blue-balling bastard, you know? Jar throws sequel games in a series he believes has gone too far and lists fan games. Games that are not made by the creator. So like if I'm arguing about how Pokemon 2D games are still being made, apparently, and use Pokemon Uranium of all things as an example, like would that ever go over? Like I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you have to admit, Jar, some of the theories put forth by the fandom are usually quite entertaining and well thought out. Some of MatPat's best content were theory videos on Five Nights at Freddy's, after all.
Yeah, a lot of the theories are interesting, but no matter what theories are put out there, there's always going to be a few flaws that makes the theory not fit in too well with the rest of the story, making the timeline of events in the game incredibly hard to follow, and it's completely impossible to fit everything together if you're not keeping track of every single little detail. Personally, I think that the story of Five Nights at Freddy's has so many plot holes that Scott is praying that people either ignore them or fit everything together themselves.
Bitch, where? No, seriously, are we supposed to take this as fact? Where are these actual plot holes?
Every single game theory on the FNAF franchise opens up with MatPat talking about how fucking difficult it is to place all the pieces together. Are you fucking retarded? I'm just gonna skip this entire point because you are clearly an idiot.
What the fuck? You know what? Let's begin. You have the proof. Fine, okay, we don't care. Jonah's monkey fighting point is that just a robot didn't give any Monday to Friday evidence himself. Shut the hell your mouth. And yes, this will sound dumb considering your whole point is that you're arguing that proof doesn't need to be shown, but like, bitch, where? I'm calling you out on this because after you claim Kindu should have used a video that wasn't even out yet as evidence, and a video I just hit, not gonna lie, I don't trust your brain as a guide. Also, I like how you called Jonah retarded for shit he may not even fucking know. Like, seriously, you're such a cat, you know?
I'll be honest, at this point, I feel like Scott is just trolling the fandom. Remember all that drama where the fandom couldn't figure out for the lives of them whether that purple rabbit, what was his name again? Oh yeah, Bonnie. Yeah, whether Bonnie was supposed to be a guy or a girl.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The fandom couldn't agree to disagree, and they kept on arguing until Scott stepped in and confirmed that Bonnie was indeed a male. But like with most fan bases, they ignored the author's intent and kept on arguing.
I'm hooked, extremely hooked. Mostly because when I went online to actually try looking for research of this happening, I could not find squat. How am I supposed to believe this is real?
Couldn't find evidence, eh? Couldn't find any fucking evidence. I guess you didn't try a Google search because I didn't even hit enter, and I already got, is Bonnie a girl? And is Bonnie a boy or a girl? Ergo, you didn't do any research, you fucking asshole.
Okay, but here's the thing, okay? The point of Jonah's argument wasn't to say that there was no proof of confusion over whether or not Bonnie was a boy or a girl. His argument was saying that there was no proof that this confusion actually started drama. So you claiming, oh look guys, I actually did research and Jonah didn't, it's just you only looking at a quarter of the issue and starting from there. That's called quarter-assing, and by fucking goodness, I didn't think we'd reach this level.
There's Roblox porn!
And this is not the only time the fanbase has pressured someone into following their mindset. The fanbase even pressured the most subscribed channel on YouTube, PewDiePie, because he made a Let's Play of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, and he said the game series really didn't scare him anymore, because it's nothing but a garbage heap of cheap jump scares.
You know, that might just be an indicator at this point that you're beating a dead horse. Five Nights at Freddy's might as well become the new Sonic franchise.
Only that's not what the phrase beating a dead horse means. Beating a dead horse is a phrase used when you're continuing something that's outcome has already been decided. Only, no, FNAF has never really had an outcome.
Okay, fine. It's not like beating a dead horse. It's like milking Eugenia Cooney. Is that a better reference for you? Because here's the thing. What they're saying is it's basically overplaying a dried up concept. Who cares what terminology they use? I thought I was bad at nitpicking. I thought I had a genuine problem with nitpicking, but Jesus Christ, you are rivaling me for my fucking crown.
You know what, Meowth? Who cares? Like, legit, who the fuck cares? I seriously can't anymore. Like, let me just get this thing out of the way for you. Your point doesn't matter. Okay, fine. Jonah's only arguing the fact that the terminology is wrong and not the point itself, okay? So, it isn't like they're using a wrong terminology, which in itself is actually a problem, because it could potentially confuse the audience, and if Junkie is unable to pick up on this problem, he can make points far more confusing. Like, remember my commentary on Pink Robot where I swapped the words items with power-ups in the video? That the games are about obtaining sets of power-ups in order to move on to a different place. My point was actually pretty good, except for the fact that it was confusing because items and power-ups are not the same fucking thing. So no, to counter your point, Meowth, this isn't a nitpick. Again, it was not Jonah's intent to cover the main bulk of the problem, nor is what Jonah is pointing out a nitpick.
I think we can all agree that PewDiePie learned that the game really isn't scary, but you should always fear the fanbase.
No, fear the porn instead. Have you seen the FNAF anime?
Great interjection. I have gotten so much out of your little comment just now. It is just chock full of necessary information that you just had to share. I've been blessed, really. I have been blessed to hear your angelic voice say that. That was really important.
It was a joke. It was just a random little gag line that wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Stop eating children.
But to be perfectly honest, I think that compared to other large fan bases, such as Steven Universe and the Rick and Morty fan base, the Five Nights at Freddy's fan base is relatively tame. At least they haven't bullied any of their fellow fans into committing suicide over a stupid little piece of fan art. Speaking of fan art, let's check out all the new fan art people have made for me.
And that's how the video ends. No, legit, that's actually how it ends.
You sound confused. You see, when people are done saying all of the points they have, they typically stop talking. I know this is...
Yo, so am I gonna have to be the one to tell him that Jonah's point overall is that the video ends with quite the mood whiplash? Not that it ends in general, like, I don't know, it'd be rude to just interrupt the... Actually, fuck you, you missed the point, good going.
Okay, now remember when I put in that long string of context in the beginning of the video? Yeah, here's where it becomes relevant. Throughout this whole entire video, the most junky and discount Wally you have interacted with in the intro skit alone.
That's stupid.
Your mother's stupid. Stop using media clips at random moments. You aren't a yokai worshipping Spider-Man loving Japanese wannabe.
Remember all that drama where the fandom couldn't figure out for the lives of them whether that purple rabbit, what was his name again? Oh yeah, Bonnie. Yeah, whether Bonnie was supposed to be a guy or a girl.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The fandom couldn't agree to disagree.
I don't know, that seemed like an interaction to me. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was, but I mean, they did talk to each other and there was interactions going on. I don't know. Seems like you're being disingenuous. Seems like you don't give an absolute shit about what you're doing. It seems like you're being lazy. It seems like you're being the exact same thing that you accused Jar and Chunky of being, and that's lazy. Fuck you!
Jeez, man, it's almost like he said the most they do, implying that for the majority of the video, all they've ever done is the simple interactions Jonas described. But oh well, I guess this one simple example has toppled over Jonah's point and thus proven that Jonah C. Smith is a large fucking hypocrite, liar, a gay, furry, and is the bottom in his relationship with me, Sketch, and his actual boyfriend.
In the end, Junkie feels here, simply for the sake of having him on your channel, and it makes the video feel more hollow as a result. Now, I'm done, so on the final thoughts.
Wait, you're telling me these weren't your final thoughts? These were just random points you threw in for no absolute reason. Great.
No, he started off this point with him going over how at the beginning he left in the intro skit. Yeah, wasn't that a sign that he wasn't exactly done yet? Done with the video, yeah, but not his final thoughts. Please stop. I'm just gonna give up here. I think I've done far more than my brain should be physically allowed because, wait a second, I'm dead. My body doesn't care what the fuck I do anymore. Well, not like I can do anything to it anymore, actually. Well, I guess that means I still have time for the final thoughts, which, Okay, so I've been scripting this video for like 3 weeks now, and not gonna lie, I really didn't know what to say to you for my final thoughts. Like, should I be upset and angry? Should I be direct? Should I just sugarcoat the video and act like nothing ever happened? Or should I just not do the final thoughts altogether? Like, I'll just say this. Despite the amount of times you pissed me off with your really fucking petty and rude persona, I'm not saying get rid of it. I just feel like you could fix up on it. Like, one half of fixing that would be, you know, to pay attention. Because when you don't pay attention and you say really rude shit, you come off as a huge jerk-ass / dumbass who doesn't know what they're talking about. I mean, really, that's probably the biggest reason I hated your persona, aside from, you know, it just being rude in general. Like, I mean, I feel like there's a way you can do it, but you just aren't doing it right. Otherwise, the other biggest issue was, of course, as I said, you not paying attention. Like, seriously, half of the time, I wonder where your brain was. Or, though, since I already brought up issues like evidence of subjectivity, I think you know where to go from there. That's really all I know what to say, so. Otherwise, I feel like you have the potential to go from here. Just, it feels like you're keeping your feet on the ground, but still not knowing where to go. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Whew, alright, that was less than pleasant.
Well, I thought it was, what's the word for it? Yeah, it made me feel excited.
Oh, whoa, where did you come from?
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to scare you like that. I was just, you know, here to guide you to the afterlife.
Wait, you're my guide to the afterlife?
Bingo!
Where the hell were you
Language?
What?
Would you talk like that around your mother?
No.
Then don't do that around me, you single-cell twat brain.
Hey, my mom's the type of person who'd freaking destroy me if I ever did do anything like that around her.
She sounds really caring. I'd love to meet her someday.
Okay, yeah, cool and all, but I'm dead. Oh, speaking of dead, can we just go over and leave this place? I mean, I was already sick of here when I was alive, so like...
Oh, sorry for the delay. You're Lunatic the game, right?
It's Lunatic.
Alright, gotcha. Lunatic the game. You're under arrest for armed burglary and breaking and entering.
Wait, excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me.
What the fuck?
Language.
Oh shit, I gotta do the voice again. Well, it looks like Lunatic has found himself in a really weird pickle after arriving in the world of the dead. What's happened and why has Lunatic been framed for it? Find out on the next episode of... What the hell do we call this storyline?
I said watch your tongue.
Yeah, I'm sorry, jeez. Find out on the next episode of Lunatic Z.